Why are the good guys walking away? Have you ever wondered why the men who once embodied loyalty, kindness, and genuine affection are now choosing solitude over relationships? Imagine a world where these good guys, tired of being taken for granted, start rejecting women who once dismissed them. This isn't just a story, it's a seismic shift in the dating landscape. What led to this dramatic change? How did we get here? And more importantly, what does this mean for the future of relationships? The growing comfort in solitude. Men today are increasingly valuing their peace over relationships. Picture this: a man who has always desired family, commitment, and the role of provider now finds more contentment in his own company. This shift isn't a sudden rebellion, but a gradual realization that their mental and emotional well-being are paramount. Statistics from a recent survey by the Pew Research Center reveal that 31% of men in their 20s and 30s are choosing to stay single, a significant increase from previous decades. This trend suggests that men are no longer willing to compromise their peace for the tumultuous roller coaster that modern dating often presents. A major shift in dating dynamics. For decades, the narrative was clear: nice guys finish last. Men were coached to abandon their natural inclinations towards kindness and understanding to attract women. But now, the script has flipped. Good guys are rejecting the role of the backup plan. They are walking away, leaving women who once dismissed them in disbelief and dismay. The rejection epidemic. Modern women are experiencing a harsh reality. Many are hearing, "I cannot date this guy, he is too good for me," a stark contrast to the previous decade's advice from relationship experts who claimed women don't like nice guys. This shift has left many women who previously sought excitement and unpredictability, grappling with the realization that good men are no longer willing to settle for being second choice. The meltdown. The term meltdown aptly describes the current state of many modern women. These women are now confronting the consequences of their past choices. They sought thrill and charisma over stability, often leading to relationships with men who treated them poorly. Now, as they seek to find a good man, they face rejection from those very men they once deemed unworthy. The evolution of men. Throughout this tumultuous journey, men have evolved. While some men have embraced a go-their-own-way philosophy, refusing to change themselves to find a partner, others have transformed into the archetypes of Chad and Tyrone men who exude charisma and defy social norms. These men, often seen as the ultimate catch, attract women easily but are rarely interested in long-term commitment. The nice guy rebellion. Nice guys are fed up. They've endured rejection and heartbreak, only to see women chase after men who bring chaos into their lives. Women now realize, albeit too late, the value of a good man. Yet, the damage is done. The predictable, safe nature of nice guys, once deemed boring, is now sought after, but these men have moved on. The chase for excitement. The crux of the issue lies in the pursuit of excitement. Women who left stable, loving relationships for the thrill of unpredictability are now facing the repercussions. These relationships with bad boys often end in betrayal and heartbreak. Women, now regretful, look back and see the mistake of choosing temporary excitement over lasting stability. A twisted resolution. Interestingly, it's the experiences with men like Chad and Tyrone that have brought about this change more than any podcast or debate ever could. Women, after being treated poorly, are now desperate for the stability they once rejected. This ironic twist is reshaping the dating landscape as women rush back to find the good men who are no longer waiting for them. Modern women struggle. Modern women are in a bind. The very men they once overlooked are now the ones rejecting them. They attend singles events, hire dating coaches, and even criticize movements like MGTOW, men going their own way, all in a bid to find a good man. Yet these efforts often lead to disappointment as men have grown weary of the dating game. The historical perspective. Let's take a step back and look at the historical context. Throughout the 20th century, traditional gender roles were clear. Men were expected to be providers and protectors, while women were nurturers and homemakers. This dynamic, though restrictive in many ways, provided a clear framework for relationships. However, the feminist movements of the 1960s and 70s began to challenge these roles, advocating for gender equality and empowering women to pursue careers and independence. While these movements brought about significant positive changes, They also introduced new complexities into the dating world. Women began to prioritize career advancement and personal growth, often delaying marriage and family life. Men, in turn, had to adapt to a new reality where their traditional roles were no longer as relevant. The rise of the independent woman. Fast forward to the 21st century, and we see the rise of the independent woman. Women are now more educated and career-driven than ever before. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, women have been earning more bachelor's degrees than men since the 1980s. This shift has empowered women to take control of their lives and make choices that prioritize their personal and professional goals. However, this newfound independence has also had unintended consequences on the dating landscape. Many women, focused on their careers and personal growth, find themselves single well into their 30s and beyond. This delay in settling down has created a sense of urgency as they approach their late 30s and early 40s, a time when biological and societal pressures to start a family intensify. The good guys stand. Meanwhile, the good guys, those men who have always been there, ready to commit and build a life with a partner, are growing increasingly disillusioned. These men, who were once overlooked in favor of more exciting and unpredictable partners, are now realizing their worth. They see that their kindness, loyalty, and stability are not weaknesses but strengths, and they are no longer willing to settle for being a woman's second choice. This realization has led to a phenomenon where good guys are actively rejecting women who once rejected them. They are choosing to walk away, valuing their peace and well-being over the tumultuous relationships they once pursued. This shift is not just a personal decision but a broader cultural movement, as more and more men embrace the idea that they deserve better. The meltdown in action. The term meltdown isn't an exaggeration. Many modern women are experiencing genuine distress as they come to terms with this new reality. They've spent years chasing after the excitement of the so-called bad boys only to find themselves heartbroken and alone. Now, as they seek stability and commitment, they face a harsh truth: the good men they once overlooked are no longer interested. The psychological toll. This shift has significant psychological implications. For years, women were conditioned to believe that excitement and unpredictability were the hallmarks of a desirable relationship. They were drawn to men who embodied these traits, often at the expense of their own emotional well-being. Now, as they seek out stability, they must confront the cognitive dissonance between their past choices and their current desires. This dissonance can lead to feelings of regret, frustration, and even despair. Women who once prided themselves on their independence and ability to navigate the dating world now find themselves struggling to find a partner who values them for who they are. The good guys, once seen as boring and predictable, are now seen as the ultimate prize, but they are no longer waiting to be chosen. The role of social media. Social media has played a significant role in this shift. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter have amplified the voices of men who are tired of being overlooked and undervalued. Hashtags like men going their own way and nice guys finish last have created online communities where men can share their experiences and support one another. These platforms have also given women a window into the male perspective, revealing just how widespread this sentiment is. The influence of influencers. Influencers and content creators have also contributed to this conversation. YouTube channels, podcasts, and blogs dedicated to men's issues have gained popularity, offering advice and support to men who feel disillusioned with modern dating. These influencers often emphasize the importance of self-respect, personal growth, and setting boundaries, messages that resonate deeply with men who have been taken for granted. The dating apps dilemma. Dating apps, once seen as a revolutionary way to meet potential partners, have also contributed to the current dating crisis. Apps like Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge have made it easier than ever to meet new people, but they have also commodified dating. The swipe culture promotes a mindset where people are constantly looking for the next best thing, often at the expense of genuine connection. For good guys, this environment can be particularly challenging. They may find themselves overlooked in favor of more exciting or superficially attractive matches. The constant cycle of swiping and rejection can take a toll on their self-esteem and reinforce the belief that they are not valued. The impact of feminism. The feminist movement has undoubtedly brought about significant positive changes for women, advocating for gender equality and empowering women to pursue their dreams. However, it has also introduced complexities into the dating landscape. Some men feel that modern feminism has created unrealistic expectations and double standards in relationships. For example, men are often expected to be providers and protectors, while also being emotionally sensitive and supportive. Balancing these roles can be challenging, and some men feel that they are constantly walking a tightrope, trying to meet conflicting expectations. This pressure can lead to frustration and resentment, further driving the decision to walk away from traditional relationships. The changing definition of masculinity. The definition of masculinity has evolved significantly over the past few decades. Traditional notions of masculinity, which emphasize strength, stoicism, and dominance, are being challenged. Men are now encouraged to be emotionally open, vulnerable, and supportive partners. While these changes are positive, they can also create confusion and uncertainty. Men who embrace these new definitions of masculinity may find themselves at odds with societal expectations and dating norms. This disconnect can lead to feelings of inadequacy and contribute to the decision to prioritize their own well-being over traditional relationships. The rise of self-improvement. One of the most significant trends among good guys is the focus on self-improvement. Men are increasingly investing in their personal growth, whether through fitness, education, or mental health. They are learning to set boundaries, prioritize their needs, and develop a strong sense of self-worth. This focus on self-improvement is not just about attracting a partner, but about living a fulfilling and meaningful life. Men who prioritize their own growth and well-being are less likely to settle for relationships that do not align with their values and goals. This shift is empowering men to take control of their lives and make choices that prioritize their happiness. The future of dating. So, what does the future hold for the dating landscape? The current trends suggest a move towards more authentic and meaningful connections. As men continue to prioritize their well-being and set higher standards for their relationships, women will need to adapt to this new reality. For women, this means reevaluating their priorities and recognizing the value of good men. It means understanding that excitement and unpredictability are not sustainable foundations for a lasting relationship. Women who are willing to make this shift and appreciate the qualities that good men bring to the table will find themselves in healthier and more fulfilling relationships. A call to action. To both men and women, this is a call to action. Men, continue to value yourselves and prioritize your well-being. Do not settle for relationships that do not respect your worth. Women, take a step back and reconsider the qualities that make a partner truly valuable. Recognize that stability, kindness, and loyalty are not boring, but the foundation of a lasting and meaningful relationship. The dating landscape is undergoing a seismic shift. Good guys are no longer content to be the backup plan, and modern women are facing the consequences of their past choices. As men prioritize their peace and well-being, women must confront the reality that they may have overlooked the very men who could have offered them lasting happiness. This new era in dating is both a challenge and an opportunity for introspection and change, as both men and women navigate the complexities of love and relationships. This shift, while challenging, holds the promise of more authentic and fulfilling connections for those willing to embrace it.